Hey guys, Zen here, and yep, that's right. I hit 45 wins pretty easy. Some would say honestly day one of the PvP event, and I did it all with my aggro decks. Now today I'm going to be sharing with you guys 3 of my highly recommended aggro decks that you can use in Pokemon Pocket to easily climb this PvP ladder. But first, what do I even mean by aggro? Well, aggro is short for aggressive, and what it refers to is an aggressive playstyle type deck where you're playing very fast to just win in as little turns as possible. This will not be your, Mewtwo EX decks that require you to build a card up to like a stage 3 Gardevoir. Those are going to be considered more like ramp decks, or even something like a Frostmoth where the whole idea is controlling your opponents. That's going to be considered more of a control deck. And if you're interested in those types of decks, don't worry, I'll be releasing a video with my highly recommended control and ramp decks. But today, it's all about aggro, baby. And I'm gonna be honest, I saw a ton of aggro Starmie EXs on ladder. You guys might also be seeing it too, but for me, I played a ton of Blaine and a ton of Pikachu EX, and it made this so easy. So if you're excited for this type of video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe. But with that, let's hit our like goal of 400 likes on today's video, you guys. We do that, and then we're getting the top recommended control decks, ramp decks, and I'll even throw in stall decks for you guys. But for now, let's break down the aggro Starmie EX deck list. Real quick, I want to let you guys know that the timestamps down below will be for each deck list, a guide on how it works. And then I will also include gameplay a little bit. Wait, it's actually going to be this way, all the way down here, gameplay for each of these decks. So be sure to use the timestamps to flip through the video accordingly, and then save the video if you want to come back to it for later. But now let's talk about this aggro Starmie EX deck. First up is Psyduck here, and honestly, this is a phenomenal card for you if you're going first or even if you're going second. First, because then you'll be able to evolve into your Golduck here if you wanted to. However, I do believe going second is way more advantageous for this Psyduck, mainly because our Golduck here requires 2 energy. So that way, turn 1, if you're going second, you can play this, give it an energy, a water energy, use Headache. Your opponent can't use any supporter cards the following turn. No Sabrinas, no Professor Oaks, nothing. And then the turn after that, you just go super aggressive into your Golduck here. You give it another energy, and you're dealing 70 damage. 70 damage, especially on Pokemon on your opponent's side that haven't evolved yet. That's almost like 80% of all basic Pokemon in the game, unless they're EX Pokemon. Now, another card we have here is the Staryu. This is also good. I tend to not want to play this in the front spot unless I'm going first. If I'm going first, I play the Staryu, because then the next turn I'll be able to just easily evolve it into a Starmie, right here. And then Starmie can retreat into literally anything. So it doesn't matter if you take a little bit of damage. It really just does not matter, right? I don't like to play this on if I'm going second, because I can evolve it, my opponent can evolve, and dealing 50 damage on turn 2 for any person, like any player, is pretty easy, especially if you have a Giovanni in hand, right? Like, what is that? That's a Farfetch'd with a Giovanni, and you lose your Staryu. So I typically don't want to play Staryu if I'm going second. I want to play Staryu if I'm going first. And then we have this Pokemon who I will never be able to name, Pyukumuku. Yeah, we're not gonna get that right. We got this weird Pokemon right here, but I love it for aggro decks. It's a 70 HP, which is pretty solid. If you're going second, you guarantee 30 damage on your opponent. You can start making them waste things like Potion, which helps you out later on in the game. But honestly, yeah, this is pretty good. It's okay mid-game, late game, unless you're coming in to just destroy something with 30. I think this is a better early aggro approach, especially if you haven't drawn your other cards that need evolutions, right? Like if you have a Psyduck, or if you have a Golduck, or if you have a Staryu or a Starmie, you don't have the full lines, then this is a solid card to start with. And then the rest of the deck is going to be Potions, Pokeballs, Professor Oaks, and then 2 Giovannis and 2 Sabrinas. Sabrinas helps you to, pivot your opponent's options. That way, if they have something in the back line that can easily go down to a 90, your Starmie's cooking, right? Or if you need to deal 100 damage, well, guess what? Giovanni with this Starmie is a beautiful thing. Definitely a very strong aggro water type deck. Now you'll see different variants where people are putting in Articunos and Misty's. I forgot to mention, you notice we don't have Misty in this deck because we're looking for a consistent aggro. We don't need lucky turn ones where we hit heads and then 8 games later we get no heads. There is no Misty in this deck. It is all around a very low energy investments for attacks that yield high damage. Very consistent water type deck. I love this thing. It cooks. So definitely check it out. Check out the gameplay in the timestamps down below. But with that, let's hop into our next deck. All right, now this one is probably my favorite. I played this on stream and went to like, what was it? 0 to 25-30 in the span of a few hours, right? It is so good. So good. I love this thing so much. And it pretty much, it revolves around, I guess I'll show you that card first. This Blaine. Actually, let me show you this Blaine. This Blaine is beautiful right here. I love this thing. It is stunning. Look at that. This Blaine, during this turn, attacks used by your Ninetales, Rapidash, or Magmar. We don't have any Magmar. Do 30 plus more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon, which means your Ninetales has a damage ceiling of 120 and your Rapidash has a damage ceiling of 70. And then we have 2 Sabrinas, we have 2 Professor Research, but we also have a single Amber here, Old Amber, because we're throwing in the Fossil Tech. I found this very helpful for me because if we look at our Pokemon here, we only have 3 basic Pokemon lines. We have the 2 Vulpix, which I'll come back to in a second, and the 2 Ponyta, their evolutions, and then a single Farfetch'd. I like our Farfetch'd in this game because it's colorless. It deals 40 damage. It's not great with the HP, but like getting 40 damage on the board, so that way your Rapidash can come in and potentially do 70 to something. That's 110 in 2 turns. Or your Ninetales can come in and do 120 max damage, and that is potentially 160 in 2 turns, right? Or 3 turns because of the energy investment for Ninetales. So I really like Farfetch'd for that reason. But now let's go back to Vulpix. Vulpix is a very interesting card because this thing can stop things like Mewtwo if you get the right coin flip. Now, if you play your Vulpix and the Mewtwo's already taken chip damage from something like Farfetch'd, they're down. Or maybe even like a single Blaine Rapidash, and then they knocked out our Rapidash. They took 70 damage. They're down to 80 damage, I think. I'm pretty sure my math could be wrong. And then they use 2 potions. They're back up to 120. Vulpix comes out with already 1 energy. You flip the tail whip, you hit heads. They can't knock you out next turn. They'll have to switch out. So if they have a fully charged Gardevoir in the background, that's potentially scary, or another Mewtwo. At that point, you got to scoop. But if they don't, guess what? You play your next Ninetales, you evolve this, you give it the energy, you use your final Blaine, 120, you just picked up 2 points, and you have a fully charged, not fully charged, fully healed Ninetales with 90 HP that can potentially do another 90 damage the next turn, especially if that Mewtwo player has something like a Ralts on the board, then that Sabrina comes in clutch. This thing is so good. However, now if they're trying to Sabrina you, well, you could always go with the Fossil Tech. Swap this in so that way your Rapidash or your Ninetales is taking no damage. Or if you want, you can swap in something like Farfetch'd. Again, it doesn't matter. Farfetch'd is literally there for turn 1 heavy damage, or maybe end of the game, just come in easy 40, no problems. It's literally Rapidash damage without the HP and without needing to evolve. So that's why I feel like it works really well in this deck. But yeah, definitely one of my favorites. Be sure to use the timestamps down below to check out that gameplay so you can see how I play this deck. But with that, let's hop into the next one. And that's going to be this Pikachu EX aggro deck list. Oh my God, this thing took me from 30 to 45 in less than an hour. It's actually cracked. You guys might want to just run this the entire time. Now, we did a couple of variations, but I honestly think this thing, Pincurchin, which my girlfriend called it a pincushion, and I will never not call it a pincushion. Now, it kind of makes sense. I mean, I think it is literally based off of a pincushion. I don't know. So we're going to call it pincushion. I think the pincushion is a better option than my previous, aka Baby Zapdos, because if you don't draw the cards you need, being able to paralyze your opponent, Mewtwo's included, be surprised how many times that happened. They can't do anything. They can't even play the game. You get 2 Pincurchins back-to-back Thunder Shocks, 30, paralyze the first one, don't even paralyze the next one, it doesn't matter. They're down to 90, so long as they don't use any potions, guess what? Your Pikachu EX comes right in to clean up. I love this thing. And then we also have the Voltorb and the Electrode line, because this is going to help us counter that Sabrina So that way, if they use Sabrina, we go into Electrode and we can just easily retreat with the 0 retreat cost. We have our Pikachu here with a full bench dealing 90 damage. That could potentially be 100 damage with the Giovanni right here. I've done that a tremendous amount of times when they're like, oh yeah, we have 100 HP. They can't knock us out next turn. That's why we run 2 Geos and 2 Sabrinas here. This is a super aggro deck. Aggro decks are going to have 2 Sabrinas and 2 Geos. I don't think you don't run that if you're not running an aggro deck. Professor Research, 2 Pokeballs and 2 X speeds, because again, all our Pokemon here, 1 retreat cost, with the exception of Electrode being 0. And then we have Zapdos EX, where if all else fails, this can come in and get some good coin flips. You're knocking out literally anything in the game. The thing is, I'll let you guys know, if you notice your matchup is electric, like your opponent is an electric, they're running electric in their deck. This could be Dragonite, so you don't really know. You don't want to play Zapdos EX. Zapdos is weak to electric, so that's not great. They can easily get some easy 2 points there. However, if your opponent is fighting type, everything else in your deck is weak to fighting here, right? So that's when you might want to lead with the Zapdos EX. But there you guys have it. Those are my 3 aggro deck lists. Be sure to check out the timestamps down below so you can see this Pikachu EX variant in action. But with that, I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of the video. Don't forget to hit that like button so we can get those control, ramp, and stall decks out here. And I'll catch you guys in the next time. Later. Ooh, we're going second. Honestly, if you're playing an aggro deck and you get to go second, feels good. Feels good. And we're starting with a Psyduck. Maybe we get red carded here, which wouldn't be horrible. I wouldn't be opposed to getting red carded here, right? Because then we might be able to find our Golduck. Golduck here would be insane, actually. I guess we could wait a bit. Starmie again. All right, Pokeball into... That's fine. We play this down here. Attach this. They can't use any supporter cards next turn. I think that's okay. So already not starting off with an ideal hand. This would be so much better if we had Golduck in our hand. We would literally just come in the next turn. We could Sabrina anything in the back line and knock them out. Be pretty good. It'd be really good. Well, actually, no, never mind. They Weezing. Oh my god, they evolved literally everything. Well, this just got scary. They deal damage to us. If we top deck Golduck here, we're in such a good spot. We don't top deck Golduck. I think we're okay here because we just go into our Staryu. We hit Headache. They can't retreat. They can't retreat. They can't, what else can they not do? They can't Koga now. They can't use a supporter card. I think we're okay here. Yeah, they can't even Sabrina. I was about to say they could Sabrina us, but they can't do that. So that's why Psyduck is pretty good. You're probably thinking like Psyduck is more of a control card, and you're right. However, oh, we're fine. We're cooking. We are so good. However, that Golduck is super aggro. Such a good card. So again, we don't really have to worry. We're not going to play any more basic Pokemon because we're playing around that potential Sabrina. We have 2 Giovannis here, and we just win the game, you guys. There is literally nothing they can do here, I don't think. An issue would be them potentially sending out the Weezing next, and then poisoning us and dealing damage. That would actually be pretty bad. But they go into this guy. We're fine. We're actually so good. Again, these matches are going to be so quick because that's literally what aggro is all about. All right, they Geo here. They're going to do 70 to us. It's kind of scary, right? So there's the 70. We can't retreat. Nothing can do enough damage for them to, you know, be a threat here. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to use this Giovanni because it's the better looking Giovanni real quick. And we're going to drop 100 on them. And then, yeah, they don't win. They go into Weezing here. And if they don't evolve their Ekans, we can just Sabrina them next turn and win the game. If they do evolve their Ekans, we're kind of in a pickle here. Okay, so they poison us. And they deal damage. Yeah, that's GG's right here. Again, that's why you run the double copies of Giovanni. and the Sabrina. Oh, look who decided to show up. That Golduck would have been so good, but listen, that's why we built the deck this way. It just works, you guys. We Sabrina here, and we're probably gonna see a concede because that's GG's. Or we're just gonna see our opponent like turn off the game, I guess. But there you guys have it. That's the Starmie EX aggro variant. Be sure to stay tuned for the next one. There we go. Easy W. Beautiful, beautiful game. All right, it's time for the Blaine, aggro Blaine, and we're going second. That's always good when you're aggro. And oh, okay, it's we're going into this psychic energy up here. I wonder if it's actually a Mewtwo player. That literally that's all you're gonna see is Mewtwo, Pikachu's. Called it. Oh man, they're gonna get their double guardies online, and I'm just gonna cry. All right, Professor Research. All right, we have a nice Rapidash though. That's always nice, right? Oh, if they Geo us turn 1, we just lose, right? Potentially. But we actually pull another one, so we're cooking. We go 20 here. Okay. If they don't have any potions, we're actually kind of okay, aren't we? However, if they evolve these guys, oh my god, they just drew that. Oh no. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna evolve into you. I'm gonna play this down. How much do we think they're going to... Oh, I do 70. Not enough. Might as well just do this. Might potion here, right? Dropping them down to 90 feels pretty good though. Them oh my god, of course, dude. Of course, dude. I think we're still okay, actually. This only does how much? If we find Vulpix next, we're kind of cooking. Or even a Pokeball would be great, because Pokeball finds us the Vulpix. I'm okay with doing this right now. Because we still need to deal another 40. Oh, that's so good for us. What the heck? We do that. I'm gonna go Fireman. Red card is really bad for us here. So we have 7. And you know, Mewtwo players typically run red card, so red card would really derail us, but this is an aggro deck. So as long as we dodge a red card here, we come in and we pick up 2 points easy. Feel like we might. Let's see this Psychic Sphere. Oh man. Well, that's GG, guys. They can't do anything now. And it's that easy. It's literally that easy. We had so many options on the bench. So many options on the bench. We're gonna go here. I guess we can play this to dodge a Sabrina, not that we'll need it. We'll play you. We'll go 90. There goes the Mewtwo. Now I imagine they go into their Gardevoir, but we have Blaine. And we just pick it up. Easy win. Let's see it. So for those of you that are wondering, like, oh man, Ninetales, I don't think it can go into, you know, Mewtwo EX. It's too powerful. It definitely can. Definitely can. It's gonna be a lot harder. You need to make sure you pull the right cards, but they had a Gardevoir online. They had a Curlia in the back, right? 2 of them, 2 sets. I think the biggest problem for them is they went first and I went second. Like if I went first, this would be a completely different game. But going second with an aggro deck currently feels tremendous. So what we do here is we add an energy. We Blaine. We use the nice Blaine, of course. There we go. And we just pick up this 120. And there you guys go. And that is the aggro Blaine deck list. Stick around for the next one, the final one. I believe it's the Pikachu one. Let's check that one out. All right, we're going first with the Pikachu EX deck list. And we're going into our weakness, you guys. I think I talked about this in the deck building section. Since they have fighting energy up here, I don't know if you guys can actually tell from this screen. We're going to lead with Zapdos. Makes the most sense. Play this down here, and we'll play our Pikachu in the back. There we go. Start battle. Oh, this Mankey is gonna hurt us, especially if they have what they need. So I think Pincushion might actually be the play here. Oh, this is such a horrible start for me, to be honest, because they can hit 30 here, evolve, and then knock out the Zapdos easy next turn. There's the Pokeball, but maybe they don't have Primeape. I was thinking about including a, fighting type aggro deck list, but as of right now, it's only Mankey that makes it quite aggro. Nothing else kind of helps them out currently. All right, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to retreat here. And we're going to retreat into you. And we could evolve. I'm thinking Pikachu makes the most sense, right? Because if we just find a basic Pokemon, we're fine, right? All right, here it comes. Primeape. Oh, no. Good thing we swapped, huh? Okay, taking the 120. That's scary. That's a good start. That's a very good aggressive start for them. But it might just be nothing but downhill if we find a basic Pokemon here. And that's why this deck is built this way, because Pikachu is literally the best card in the entire game. Here it is. Boom. Done. Get him out of here. Now we get to build something else, and I think the Zapdos makes the most sense. So they're going to be able to deal damage to us. They're going to do 50 to us. Or they're not actually going to do 50 to us. Ooh, Sabrina would be very good here, right? Sabrina would be insane. Oh, they have the Marowak. They have the Marowak. We have the Sabrina. I think we do it, right? Because we just have to dodge a single heads. Now, they could get lucky here, but I'm about consistency here. I'm all about consistency. We're going to deal the 90 damage. We could actually go for 100 here, right? And then if we find another Giovanni... Oh, no. That's fine. We can just do this here. There's the 90. They might swap out. I don't know. We do have a Geo. There's the X speed. They do swap out. All right. I think we're okay here, actually. Because they're going to deal damage to us here. Right? And then all we have to do is swap out into our Pincurchin, which is a good thing we actually chose this guy to like juice him up. And then we can just retreat here into you, use our Giovanni. Again, Giovanni's so good in this deck. And just pick this up real quick. Now, as long as they don't evolve their Cubone here, and even if they do, it doesn't matter, right? Even if they do bring this guy out and knock him out, we'll have two other basic Pokemon, and Pikachu will do at least 60. So as long as they have no potions and they don't change anything on their bench here, we're more than fine. I think they're looking for that next Marowak here. They might have it. Oh, they do. It's 40, 50. Okay. Good damage. Good damage. Good damage. But not enough, because all we have to do is go here. If we can actually paralyze them, that's even better. Oh my god. That's game. They can't do anything. Next turn, we retreat here. That's why I love this Pincushion. Oh, and just like that, Aggro Pikachu. Do not sleep on this. That is into fighting type. You have to pivot. It's like chess, you guys. Such a good deck. But there you guys have it. Those are all the decks. Be sure to use the timestamps in the videos to go back and understand the deck list, the deck guides, and then watch the gameplay so that way you see how I play these decks. But don't forget to hit the like button. Let's hit our like goal so we get all these other deck lists out there. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.